Stupid nerds ruin everything, right? Yeah.
Oh hi, I'm that guy. Long trench coat and a cool bow tie. Here to give a little more than whatever you're looking for, so put away your smartphone. Check my mind. And I know every universe, every timeline, every time that a character you're thinking of from Star Wars, every show to space, every Jedi, every Sith man. I'm that guy, and I beat Battletoads. Yes, I'm a dungeon master. Stay through the credits and Avengers, every film that I'm watching, don't you know? Cause there's something after. Oh, here, I'll spoil it for ya, cause it wasn't even really that great. So don't bother wasting your time. Here, let me recommend you something better anyway. I wrote petitions for every show that I'm missing, and my gamer score is dope. I get every item and I finish every mission. Who's that they're casting in it? What's that they're doing, man? I gotta sign on, gotta get on the message board, give you my opinion, cause my...
How's it going? This is Sean Alpha.
Kazuma.
And we're here with another one of those episodes of Geek Eire podcasts. You know, the ones that are so infamous on 4chan, they must be famous in real life. I swear to God, at least 30 times our names are mentioned. You know what, Kazuma? I'm pretty sure if we hit 50 times on 4chan, we'd become saints. So, this week, we're going to talk about some of the highlights sort of happening at the moment and some of the things that are going to happen in the near future. So, Kazuma, what have you been up to these days with geekiness?
Not much. I started Japanese class.
Oh, how's the Japanese class been working out for you?
It's pretty easy so far. I'll give it like another 2-3 classes, see if it's still easy, and if it is, I'll just move up a rank.
So soon you're going to be teaching the class, aren't you?
Yeah.
You hear it here, folks. Kazuma's going to be teaching people. As far as myself, I've been doing lots of job interviews. So I haven't really done a lot of geekiness myself because I don't money and to save up for a trip. I've been doing sort of some freelance work. So as far as other news with me, I've started saving up for the trip to Japan. It should be very interesting. We've been me and Kazumi here has been we've been talking immensely about what we're going to do and the thing, and I've started learning a little bit of Japanese. Neither know Kazuma keeps correcting me every time that I say something Japanese. It's like wrong. It's like you actually were supposed to pronounce it like this, but the W is silent in this. Just like okay, I'm gonna take everything on board because on previous trips, like we've gone to Hamburg together, we've gone on numerous different trips. Like with Hamburg, I was able to speak German, I was able to teach them, and I still correct him every time a German word comes up, especially like in Yu-Gi-Oh, where you have like Cyber Dragon Dry, and he'll call it. What do you call it?
Dre?
Yeah, you call it Dre.
I just call it Dr. Dre.
And I correct you, so it's like it's Kazuma's revenge at this point. It's like the name of a storm. Every time I'm going to say something Japanese, now he's going to be coming after me. So yeah, it's kind of a slow time as far as geek things, but we have been doing other stuff besides watching anime. We actually went to the movies recently. Isn't that right, Kazuma? So first of all, we saw Lucy. Lucy starring Scarlett Johansson as the Black Widow. Because that she was pretty much the Black Widow in this film. And Morgan Freeman as Morgan Freeman. Lucy, the pet. You've seen from the commercials. They put a chemical drug into her that's able to activate the other 80% of her brain. And increasingly she gets more intelligent, she's able to do more things and become more self-aware, and eventually, she becomes God. Face it, people, 25% of this movie, the problem is the fact that it's 25 minutes of stock footage. Every time that Morgan Freeman speaks, there's stock footage. There's animals humping in a stock footage scene, some old things. So, what did you think of the film?
I thought it was alright. Bit too quick though.
Yeah, it literally was an hour and a half film. It could have done a little bit more fight scenes and a little bit more dialogue. Because Lucy herself doesn't really talk a lot. And when she does, it's kind of bland and boring. We also saw Guardians of the Galaxy. Kazuma, what did you think of Guardians of the Galaxy?
I thought it was really good.
I think it was one of the better films of this year. I'm going to play Golden Sarcophagus. Some of you know that we actually have a little bit of background dialogue, background music. So we have Sayuki Reloaded playing in the background. One of Kazuma's favorites. So I'm returning Kazuma. So one of our listeners, Thomas and Mary, wanted us to talk about the different demographics of anime. Because for someone that's into anime, even for the first time, there's always someone coming into the thing first. So we're going to give examples of, shows that, for each sort of demographic. So, Kazuma, which category should we start off with first?
Well, sure, I'll let you pick first.
Okay, well, let's start off the one thing that everyone watches first. Shonen. Shonen is predominantly the most popular anime and manga franchise to date. A lot of it comes from sort of the Jump magazines, Shonen Jump, Ultra Jump. Do you know any other Jump magazines?
Which magazines?
The ones where all the manga comes from, so...
Oh, like Jump and stuff?
Yeah, so you have Shonen Jump, Ultra Jump.
I just thought I was so far enough.
There's a few other ones.
We'll know more by the end of next year.
Yeah, when we go over to Japan. So you have Shonen Jump that has, Naruto. It has Naruto, Yu-Gi-Oh, Yu Yu Hakusho, Hunter x Hunter. These are, it was predominantly originally aimed towards boys, but as recent years have gone on, it's developed where it's appreciated by both boys and girls. Inuyasha would be one of the classic examples. That was a show that was originally designed for women that has male appeal. You know yourself with the romantic interest when they blatantly put in a romantic interest to it.
22.
Okay. Okay. So the next is shoujo. And shoujo kind of gets a little bit blurry because you have shonen ai, which is it's female, which is stuff like Inuyasha, Sayuki. There's a few other ones. What was the one that we were just talking about before the podcast? The one about to play?
Oh, Fushigi Yugi.
Fushigi Yugi. There's Shonen Ai, where, it is a male-centric series, but the guys are pretty looking. Where it's sort of there's a mixture between shoujo and shonen. Things that usually shoujo would have would be...
Kind of like Gravitation, where that's...
No, Gravitation that's yaoi.
Shonen Ai.
No, that's yaoi.
Yeah, that's Shonen Ai, isn't it?
Yaoi is a completely different category that we'll get to. That's a completely different kettle of fish.
It kind of sounds the same though. Shonen Ai is probably a longer version of it though, isn't it?
Well, alright, so shoujo would be shoujo and Shonen Ai would be sort of a shonen type show. Action, adventure, not really sort of deep and methodical. But can have deep and methodical elements. A lot of the point of the show is to have a long-lasting series. So that's why Naruto, Dragon Ball, Yu-Gi-Oh, all those ones last a while. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Fist of the North Star, they're all long-running ones. They're entertaining. They're mindless enjoyment. As far as... the original Astro Boy, that's the that was a shonen series. This is the reason why it's so popular. There is yaoi, which is a mixture between hentai and shoujo. They're female-orientated shows with a hentai setting for with feminine-looking men. Being in, there's always a dominant personality and a submissive personality in each relationship, where they're sort of playing out the male and female the female sort of turn. So, what's the next category would you want to bring up?
As in the manga category,
or manga and anime category?
See.
So, or we'll say it's typical shoujo titles: Chobits, Tsubasaka Chronicles, Exholic.
Have you seen that one? Oh, no,
that's the one with all the really anorexically looking characters.
Is that the one with the twins, or is that?
Yeah, that's the one with the twins.
The one with the pink hair and the one with the blue hair, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've seen the first episode of
that. Milky Homes. Would that be considered a shoujo series, or would that be considered towards men?
Shoujo, I think. Yeah.
All right.
Hawaii-tastic.
Oh, there's Kaleidostar. A typical example of a shoujo series, the one about the trapeze artists.
Oh yeah.
Old series. That's a good example as well. And there's all Magical Girls shows would be in that example. So Madoka, Sailor Moon, Cardcaptor Sakura, Sally the Witch. This is actually a name of an anime, one of the oldest Magical Girls shows ever.
Which one?
Sally the Witch.
Alright.
You really think it was going to be more Japanese-centric of a name than Sally the Witch. Or a little bit more discreet than, it is the... That was the first Japanese, first Maho Shoujo. So the next category, Seinen. Seinen is... Alright, so originally there was, shonen shows, high, fantasy, Astro Boy, Tetsujin 28, a lot of shows that were aimed towards, the younger demographic. And as the 1970s and early 80s progressed, there was a counter-revolution where people were watching anime and reading manga was a sign of rebellion. And this is where Seinen comes in. That's why you have... Seinen is, mature audience anime. So a lot of the OAVs from the 80s and early 90s would be shonen, or not shonen, seinen. So example, Violence Jack. Fist of the North Star would be mixture between the two. What?
Breakman, wherever that was actually animated.
I'm pretty sure that's a hentai. Angel Cop.
Friendly name, Breakman.
Mad Bull 34. You've probably seen some yourself, Kazuma. Claymore, that would be close on that demographic. There are shows that are mature. They would have... Ghost in the Shell. Some of them can have philosophical meanings and terms. Sure, Kazuma, it's your turn.
Alright.
Basically, the whole reason, that seinen titles sort of came up was they were the counter-revolution for shonen shows. And because they had this counter-revolution, because they wanted to rebel the system, it had been something so extreme. So that's why a lot of seinen shows from the early 80s and 70s, and like their manga as well, were so extreme and graphic and violence and rape and murder and pillaging and death and destruction, because they were trying to counteract the fluffiness. Would that be an accurate description? The fluffiness?
So, yeah.
And because of that, they were able to create a balance, and that's why you have shows like Claymore in the 90s and 2000s. That's why you have, Ghost in the Shell, where they were able to balance the shonen and seinen completely. And was able to branch in a little bit more. especially have Ghost of the Shell Arise. Next category is Yosei.
Yosei?
Yosei is a category for older women.
Oh, right, yeah.
While seinen is the category for older men, Yosei is older women. So a lot of the ones would be sort of high dramas and stuff like that. But there is actually good, very good Yosei titles out there. For example, my favorite Yosei titles, Gokuzen. Gokuzen about the Yakuza daughter who becomes a teacher in a school full of delinquents. And she uses her Yakuza tactics. I destroyed it.
Attacks. Nah, that one text that has 28.
Okay. Okay. So, next up, the different... what is the next category? Can you think of the next category? Suppose we should talk about the beast. There is Yaoi. Alright, so we talked about Yaoi sort of in brief type of thing. So Yaoi is a hentai category, which means it's anime porn. It could also be considered ecchi. Ecchi we'll talk about a bit later. So Yaoi is... They're homoerotic storylines that are aimed towards women and young gay people. There is another category that comes after it called Boro. Essentially, older gay guys, sometimes hairy. The characters are hairy and muscular. I think it's like I haven't seen any examples of it, but I've read about them. So I think it's mostly manga that you get them in. I assume it'd be like the North Star, except it'd be like the fisting of the North Star.
Sharp and pointy.
It'd be like Kinshiro. What happened? I already came.
Where are you going? I finished there.
Yeah, just walks away and...
I left in a bottle for you on the table.
So, the next category is ecchi. While hentai is sort of the extreme, so you have, your different areas of hentai. So you have tentacles, which is the reason why that came about was that it was trying to get around censorship, so they couldn't have penises, so tentacles was the next best thing.
Pirate icon.
Oh god, don't bring up that image.
Which one?
There's been a few images, man. Oh god. Or Daikon Radish. Oh. So, I'm sorry, I can't get that idea out of my head now. Ecchi is the lesser form of it. So, if you're putting it in a realistic example, so you have hentai is your straight up porn, your Howard Stern, not Howard Stern, your sort of porn stars. That would be the animated version of that with a dumb storyline. Then there's ecchi shows, which they wouldn't, mostly comedies, sometimes try to be serious when they go into somewhat of a seinen or shonen route. A lot of them will be comedies though. They'd be like, it'd be more fan service for comedic effect. A lot of harems will be in this category, so it'd be a lot of, I saw her bra, or I saw her boobs, or I saw her, her vajayjay. And that's the thing that really sort of, comes about type of thing. So the next category is, so we did ecchi. What is the next category actually?
I think that's most of them.
Yeah, so those are the main, like there's mystery and sci-fi and stuff like that, but a lot of them are sort of mixed into different things, or put into the category. Actually, here's the question for you. What type of categories would you like to see in the future?
Not sure. I'm like, new categories or ones that's already around?
Well, alright, so say there is a... Most yaois are considered romance with a bit of comedy or a bit of drama, like Gravitation or something like that. Would you like to see something different come into play?
Yeah, see what it'd be like.
Alright, so for example, I would like to see a shonen type show that has a character that just happens to be gay. Not even played, it's not played for kicks or, a main character that just like, yeah, I'm gay whatsoever. I'm gonna blow up your head now. Like, Fist the North Star. It's like, yeah, this is my boyfriend here. I'm gonna blow up your head. Yeah.
He's my student.
Yeah, like, why not? It'd be something different. Would you watch it?
Probably just see what it'd be like.
It's a fighting show. It's just the main character just happens to be gay.
Kind of like the guy that did Shark and James Woods film where the gay boyfriend is like, what did he say to him? Oh yeah, shut up, you fag.
Oh yeah. So there hasn't really been a lot of like geek news. I know Destiny came out recently. Neither of us have a PS4 at the present moment, mostly because of money situations and we're saving up for Japan. But maybe this year, because the fact we're not going to that many conventions this year, we are building up, and the reason why we haven't really had a lot of topics to talk about is because we've been building up. We're going to be doing a panel at Belfast, and that's going to be fucking fantastic. I think that's pretty much all the news that we can talk about. Is there anything else?
Not really, no.
Any topics?
No.
Or? So, that's the end of this podcast. I'm Sean Alpha.
I'm Kazuma.
Make sure you can comment. Make sure to continue entering the competition. We have tons of entries. That's fucking fantastic. We have at least 10 entries put so far in the contest, and it's only been out a week. That's really good so far, and we really thank you guys, and I think the conventions want to thank you as well. Isn't that fantastic that, they're really enjoying it? So just keep on commenting, get your friends to comment and share on the page, because these conventions need your support, because these are small cons. They don't have the budget of a bigger convention. They don't have their name. They don't have a big enough name like NomCon or AirTaCon to carry them across. So yeah, they need you guys to just pump it up. Advertise as much as you want for these cons. So make sure you enter the page. If you have any complaints, send more hate mail our way. Want to send us nice things, you can email us at geekeirepodcast@gmail.com. You can comment on the Twitter at Geek Eire Podcast, or you can comment on our Facebook page. We are on Google Plus, but we don't really use that much. We would get the notifications, so if you do want to do it, go ahead. Should we even open up a DeviantArt account? I don't think. Would there be any purpose?
Nah, it's gone quiet, I think.
It's gone quiet. Yeah, it's really just for artists as a catalogue of their work. So, yeah, we're on Stitcher, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on iTunes. I think we're on a few other different types of categories there. So make sure you keep on entering the competition, and good luck, guys. This is Sean Alpha signing off.
It's Kazuma. At the right shoe.
いえ残念ながらこいつネタもやっとるのこれ